How many fingers do you have on each hand? 4 or 5? Some people might be wondering, am I high, or did I lose my mind altogether? Well, neither. Technically speaking, thumb is considered as a digit, not a finger. If you carefully observe, each finger is divided into 3 parts, by 2 joints, whereas single joint separates the thumb in 2 parts. Only humans enjoy the luxury of having strong opposable thumb on their hands, which facilitates manual dexterity, due to the strong development of muscles than any of the fingers. That's why it is easy for us to press the pressure points on our body, get hold of an object, or perform a mundane task like pouring water from jug to the glass. Indeed, without a shadow of a doubt, thumb is the king of all the fingers. In palmistry, each phalange of the 4 fingers has got its own meaning. Likewise, thumb is also divided into 3 different phalanges. The first section of thumb, comprising thumbnail, represents willpower and determination that separates us from the animals. Second section denotes logical and reasoning abilities. And third section is the Mount of Venus that stands for love, sympathy, passion and generosity towards others. Humans essentially need all these qualities to lead a life of well-being, full of happiness, and to overcome any obstacles. However, more often than not, you will find there is an excess or deficit of these phalanges. Suffice to say, it provides extraordinary insights into the potential success rate, personality traits and natural talent of an individual. Please note that Mount of Venus is often neglected to discern his or her life approach. If the second section of thumb is quite large as compared to the first section, he or she is governed by strong analytical skills. People with such kind of formation make grandiose plans about how they are going to achieve their goals, what requisite resources will be required and so on, and so forth. Basically, they are good planners and thinks a lot before making any decisions. However, there is this barrier, sort of glass ceiling and lack of determination that prevents these individuals to put their ideas into actual implementation. In this process, they often lose excellent opportunities and sometimes suggests late success. It is imperative to understand that the shape of the fingertip, fingerprint pattern on it, and the type of the hand has the potential to change many of the mentioned characteristics. Hence you have to watch different videos on my channel and connect the dots to reach to an accurate result. You can't discount the way you want in palmistry, you will always make mistakes. It never works this way. That's why it is an art, difficult to master, requires an eye for detail, and years of dedication. If the first section of the thumb is equal to the second section as shown, represents control and balance between action and reaction. They don't act quickly, nor do they take a long time to respond to any situation, making it an ideal combination. As you guessed it, there is a good relationship between willpower and logical reasoning abilities. However, the thumb should be long, medium set, or low set to get the desired results and success in one's life. If the first section of the thumb is longer than the second section, denotes he or she aggressively pursues one's goals, and the psyche or inner self of such person is ruled by strong willpower. In a nutshell, they are doers, and most of the times achieve early success. Studies have shown that trained willpower can produce miraculous results in one's life. However, there is a thin line between a go-getter and an impulsive individual. As I said before, if there are myriad of signs on the hands that points towards impulsive nature, whatever they have achieved can go down the drain in a fraction of the time. To make matters worse, there is an underlying thought process that says I don't need anyone, cutting any room for adequate reasoning and uncompromising personality is seen. No wonder they act first and regret on the decisions later on, making them vulnerable to big mistakes. Do you have such horizontal lines on your thumb? Click on the I button to understand its true meaning, or you can find the link in the comments section. Share this video with your family and friends. And don't forget to subscribe with those notifications on. As always, thanks for watching.